Hey, what's up you guys? It's Dorothy and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to go into chapter 2 of How to Disappear by Sharon Hess Wrote. I hope that you guys will enjoy this book as we get started into it, so let's get right into this video. This video may contain sensitive topics and foul language. If you do not wish to continue, please click off the video now. You have been warned. Chapter 2. I wake up the next morning to a cheesy 2 thumbs up grin on Jenna's Instagram, which I take as a personal pep talk. She tagged it saying, #say-hi, #be awesome, #you got this. I click the little heart icon, first like, and I head to the kitchen for breakfast. Mom has left a plate of fresh croissants. It's Wednesday, her early morning workout day. My father doesn't leave for his office for another hour, so he shuffles out to join me. He pours us both a cup of coffee and sits next to me, and we eat and drink in silence. He never forces me to chat and doesn't even notice what I'm wearing. Today's brown hooded sweatshirt with a pocket in the front does not inspire a mention of the marsupial exhibit at the zoo, like it did with Mom the last time I wore it. If he thinks I resemble a kangaroo, he doesn't let on. I like Wednesdays. My father's calm stays with me on the bus and all the way to my locker. I'm feeling pretty good, having managed to avoid both Hallie and Adrian in the hall, but the bottom drops out of my stomach when I walk into world history. There's a substitute teacher, which means an attendance roll call. Add it to the terror list. Even if it only requires me to bark out a single word, I can never decide whether to say it should be here or present. I'm pondering the decision when I notice a guy seated next to me, sort of leaning toward my desk. I'm pretty sure he's the one who knocked into Adrian yesterday, causing the whole drumstick incident. His name is Lipton Gregory. I've heard him explaining that it's a family name on his mother's side, not related to the tea company, but kids still call him Teabag sometimes. Lipton clears his throat, and I turn my face a teensy bit more in his direction without establishing eye contact. Frankenstein, he says. Excuse me? I shoot him a quick glance, then eyes go to the floor. What you said to Adrian in the hall yesterday, go forth and prosper. He taps his pencil. It's from Frankenstein, not Star Trek. I blush, absolutely mortified that someone was listening to my babbling enough to quote it back to me, and remember to do so a whole day later, right? I say. Frankenstein, Mary Shelley. I can't speak in complete sentences, apparently. It's from the introduction, right? He swipes the screen of his cell phone and reads from it. I bid my hideous progeny go forth and prosper. She was talking about her book. Right, I say again, not Spock. Lipton beams at me, nodding. Mary Shelley. And that's when I realize the sub is shouting my name, which I must have missed the first time he called for me at more reasonable volume. Vicky Decker. I can't remember if I was going to say here or present, so I just shout the first word that pops into my head, which is Frankenstein. The class erupts in laughter as I turn every shade of beat and quickly correct myself. Here, present. The laughter continues when Jeremy Everling's name is called, and he shouts Dracula. Then Brendan Fisher says werewolf, and Ellie Gold says squeals mummy, and so on. Though Lipton Gregory was very polite and says present. It's not on my list being laughed at because the one goes without saying. The being laughed at is what makes it all the rest of it so terrifying. I let my hair fall around my face and sink into a puddle behind my notebook. The sub hushes everyone but cannot silence the roar in my ears. It's grown louder and more frequent since Jenna left 2 months ago, like an army of zombie vacuum cleaners that will not die. I open my book and pretend to read the assignment Mr. Braxley left for us, but I can't focus. A small folded square of paper appears in front of me. I don't look up to see where it came from. It's a joke, no doubt, a picture of Frankenstein, neck bolts and all. I should brush it to the floor or slide it to the back of my book. I'm not exactly sure how long I've been staring at it when I hear Lipton clear his throat. I glance over it, and he darts his eyes at the square of paper back at me. Oh, I unfold it. There are 2 words scrawled inside. I'm sorry. I hold the note in my hand for the rest of class and try to clear my mind of any strange words I might inadvertently blurt out if asked another question. All I can think is, if Jenna had been here, she would have answered for me. She would have heard the sub calling my name and said, she's here, and Frankenstein would have never happened. I should have said, that's okay, or at least smiled at Lipton when he passed me the note of apology, but I don't think of it until later when I'm sitting on my book on the toilet seat in the bathroom eating a sandwich, which is gross, I know, but the cafeteria and I are presently estranged and there's nowhere else to go. I spent second period in here and then decided I might as well stay through through until lunch. The girl in the red Converse high tops comes in and I scoot my backpack in front of my feet so she won't recognize my shoes, and I think I live here. Even if I kind of do. After 3 hours, my butt hurts and I'm starting to feel claustrophobic. The idea of staying in this stall any longer is getting worse than the prospect of leaving, so I gather my things and the next bell and make my way to 5th period English. We're reading 1984 together, so it's quiet and nobody looks at me, not even Hallie Bryce, who sits 2 seats up and a seat over. She holds her book at eye level rather than hunching over it like everyone else. A couple of girls behind her to the right are imitating her, sitting all prim with their books in the air and giggling until Miss Day scowls at them. Hallie doesn't seem to notice or care. She just keeps reading with her impeccable posture. I guess when you're that perfect, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. About 5 minutes before class is over, the door opens and one of the students who helps in the office delivers a yellow slip to our teacher and scurries out. "Vicki Decker," Miss Day says. Miss Day's eyes drift around the room. She looks right past me, which is exactly what I hope for in most situations, except now it just means everyone else has to turn and point me out to her. They're all synchronized swimming team, featuring me in the middle of their formation. "Vicki," Miss Day waves the yellow slip at me. "For you." Add it to the list, getting a yellow slip. So embarrassing. I slide out of my desk and walk to the front, my face burning. Back at my seat, I read the slip, which is from Miss Green, the school psychologist. It's an appointment for tomorrow at 9:15, right in the middle of first period. Yippee. I make it through last period and practically fall onto the bus, where I text Jenna the whole agonizing story of my day. She doesn't text back for a really long time, longer than usual. I start to worry something's happened to her, a bus accident or worse. The kids in the back she's been telling me about have messed with her, stolen her phone maybe, which means my humiliating texts about Lipton and Frankenstein and my guidance appointment are now being read by someone not Jenna. "Jenna, you there?" I'm so relieved when the dots appear I could cry. I stare at the screen, waiting. The bus ride home is almost over, and I'm holding my phone in both hands, and squeezing it tighter will make the message come through faster. Finally, there is a blip, and it says, "LOL." LOL? What does she mean, LOL? I scroll backward, worried I missed something funny. Maybe while I was dumping all of the depressing details of my day, she shared something humorous that happened to her. Or maybe, did I make a joke I've forgotten? But no, there's nothing. Someone shoves my shoulder. I look up and crap, we're at my house. I grab my backpack and scurry up the aisle and down the steps and out the door to the curb. The bus rumbles away. I stand there catching my breath for a minute, then start across the driveway to our front porch, my backpack banging against my leg. Our house is a brick ranch with a gray roof. My mother keeps our shrubbery neatly trimmed at all times, the flower beds mulched and weeded and blooming with seasonally appropriate colors, orange and yellow cynthianthums, at present perfect fall colors. She fusses over things like that because the house itself is so plain. She always says low and unamusing and overshadowed by its fancier 2-story neighbors, like Jenna's old house, which sits across the street diagonally from ours. I try not looking at it too much. It seems so empty, even though new people are living there now. My phone starts buzzing in my hand. It's Jenna. I let it ring a few times so it doesn't seem like I'm waiting for her call, even though I am. "Hey, Vicki, oh my God." There's still a laugh in her voice. "It wasn't funny," I say at all. She snickers. "Actually, it kind of was. Frankenstein, I'm dying." "You're laughing at me." "I'm laughing with you," she insists. Wouldn't that require me to be laughing? Because I clearly am not. I pace the driveway. I made a complete fool of myself and everyone was laughing at me, and you're the only one I can talk to about it, and now you're laughing at me too. "I'm sorry," Jenna says. "I didn't realize you were so upset." How could she not realize? She usually knows what I'm feeling before I do. I drop my backpack on the front porch and sit on the step. "I was worried something happened to you on the bus." "Well," there's a sing-song in her voice, "remember that guy I told you about? The one who was looking at you in the bad way with 2 girls? I said I wasn't sure if it was a bad or good," she says. "Turns out it was good. They invited me to sit with them. Well, he did. Tristan. In the back of the bus? I know, it's so cliche. Cool kids in the back of the bus. But they are totally cool." I force a smile. "Tell me everything," I say, "so I can live vicariously through you." She laughs. "You mean vicariously?" "Vicariously through you." She laughs. "You mean vicariously." "Right, vicariously. I always mess up that word because it seems like curious should be the root of it, since it comes from being curious about how someone else lives. I should know, since I spend most of my time that way. It's not that exciting. We rode the bus and they asked me where I was from and stuff like that. I told them all about you." "You did?" My pulse quickens just knowing they were talking about me. "What did you say?" "Just how we've been friends since kindergarten, how much I miss you, that I can't tie my shoes without you." She laughs. "Tristan didn't believe me, so he untied the sneakers and made me show him." How, you can't tie shoes? Yeah, she says. I just rolled the laces into a ball and shoved them back into his sock. I laugh, strangely relieved. I'm pretty sure they won't be inviting me to sit with them again, she says. But I have a picture. Bus selfies are a thing out here, apparently. Oh, show me. Okay. I'll send it as soon as we hang up. We chat a little longer, then say goodbye, and the photo comes through as I'm walking into the kitchen. There's Jenna smiling like it's the most exciting moment of her life, surrounded by the faces of super cute guy, super cute girl, and super cute other girl. I should be happy for her. I know I should. She's meeting people, making friends. I'd have to be a horrible person to not want that for her, but all I can see is how quickly and easily she is moving on without me. My mother is in the kitchen and at the computer when I walk in. She's on Facebook, where she spends her free time scrolling through the heaping mounds of evidence that I am not nearly as accomplished or impressive as the children of every other person she knows. She sees me holding my phone and says, "How's Jenna?" Terrible, I say, not sure why I decided to blurt this out. Why? Mom says turns from her monitor to face me. What happened? All of a sudden my eyes start to water if I tell her the truth, that Jenna is making new friends, and I've probably lost the one thing I look forward to every day, which is a 30 measly minutes of texting time with my only friend. She'll pity me for more than what she already does. I clear my throat. She's having a hard time at her new school. I lie. The kids on our bus are really mean. Mom's lip turned down in an exaggerated frown. Oh, poor Jenna. Yeah, she's wishing she never moved. I sit at the counter and peel a banana. Mom studies me like she's never seen someone eat a banana before. I know it's hard, she finally says. Maybe a little neighborhood party would help. Invite some classmates' families over. Sounds embarrassing. Oh, it would be fun. My eyes slowly widen as I realize she isn't talking about Jenna anymore. Mom, no. What? Please tell me you did not invite kids from school to a party. It hardly bears mentioning. The parties are on the terror list. It's just an idea. We could invite the Everlings and Roberta D'Amico from work. Her daughter Marissa is a junior at Richardson, isn't she? Mom turns back to the computer and brings up a full screen of Marissa D'Amico and 10 other beautiful girls in sexy short dresses and extremely high heels standing in a row. The next image shows them paired with their dates for homecoming. Boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl. Then Marissa and her date, a grinning Adrian Ahan, sans drumsticks. I've already envied the photo of Marissa's Instagram enough. She seems like such a nice mom. You don't like Marissa DeMarco? My mother's face is pained, as if failing to be an adoring fan of Marissa DeMarco is making it all the more unbearable that I will never be Marissa DeMarco. I like her just fine, I say, but I don't need you to set up play dates for me. I can make my own friends. She hesitates, take a deep breath. Of course, I know you can, so just don't, okay? Her eyes get kind of squinty and she nods slowly. I can make my own friends, I repeat. She keeps nodding, but I can tell she doesn't believe me. As a matter of fact, I say, I had a lengthy conversation with Adrian Hahn just yesterday, and some kids in world history class today. An eyebrow shoots up. Really? Yes, really. She moves from the computer to the kitchen sink and starts washing dishes. Then why not have some of them over? We can put up the badminton net. You kids could get to know each other. Just kill me now. Oh, please, Vicky, it won't kill you. She drops the pan she's scrubbing into the soapy water and turns to face me again. I just want you to get out there and live a little. Is that so bad? There is nothing quite so demoralizing as having your middle-aged mother pause from her Facebooking and dishwashing to suggest that you need to get out more. I glare at her until she looks away, then drag my backpack to my room, lock the door, and flop on my bed. I pull out my phone and stare at the bus selfie again, zooming in on Jenna's face so I can focus on how happy she looks. I try to pretend her smile is for me, but inevitably I swipe to the left and right, to the faces that are the reason for her happiness, new friends, their heads squeezed together, filling the frame. I wouldn't fit even if I was there, and the super cutes are not to blame for that. I have absolutely no reason to dislike them, but I do. They're so perfect, so everything that I am not. I slump to my desk and plug my phone into the USB port on my computer so I can open the image and Photoshop. Soon it's filling my whole computer screen. I zoom in on the face super cute girl, her flawless skin, and I can't help myself. I use the pencil tool to give her a lady stash, and then the super cute girl gets a unibrow. Super cute guy is the recipient of a bad case of acne. I'm just about to go on full mean girl by making Jenna cross-eyed when my phone buzzes with the text message from her. Miss you so much. Wish you were here. I sit back in my chair and close my eyes. I feel a pang of guilt and shame and a heavy dose of I suck. I sigh and text back. Me too. I quickly delete the lady stash and the unibrow and the zits. They look looked realistic, but I vowed to henceforth use my Photoshop skills for good and not evil, which gives me an idea, a way to convince my mother I am not completely hopeless and avoid the embarrassment of please be friends with my daughter party. I click open the photo booth on my computer and position myself in front of it, just as Jenna is positioned in the bus selfie. Then I smile like I'm having the time of my life and snap the photo. It takes a few tries to get it right, looking straight into the lens, smiling but not too much, and with my blank wall in the background instead of my cluttered bookshelves. Then I carefully drop my own image on top of Jenna's so she disappears and I take her place. I use the brush tool to blend it and it looks like an obvious fake, too flat, the lighting's all wrong. The original photos, there's sunshine from the bus window hitting the side of Jenna's face. She's squinting a little bit and there are shadows. I try again. I open my curtains and position objects from my room so they can cast dark shapes across my chest and shoulders, just like in the photo. Cat keeps trying to crawl on my lap. I throw her on the bed a few times and she finally gets the hint and massages my pillow to death before laying down to sleep. By dinner time, I've got the photo of myself with Jenna's new friends that if viewed on my small phone screen should fool my mother if she doesn't look too close or zoom in too much. Here, I say, placing the phone in the kitchen counter as I start setting the table. She lifts her face and her eyes widen. Who's this? Some new kids on my bus, I say, taking my phone back before she can inspect it further. Mom tries to get another look. I flashed it at her again. Was that today? She glances down at my sweatshirt. Same as in the photo. Yeah, one of them just emailed it to me. Well, she says, they look very nice. My dad walks in from work and asks who looks very nice. Nobody, I say. He doesn't press me for answers like my mother usually does, just shrugs and smiles. We sit down to eat, and it's the best time I've had all day. Mom doesn't think I'm a complete loser for once, and Dad's just happy that Mom's happy. Even though I know the picture's a fake, seeing myself surrounded by new friends like that, it feels good. That is the end of chapter 2. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.